What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
And we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell,
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
The Batswana are known for their vibrant clothing and music. They are one of the largest ethnic groups in Southern Africa, with an estimated population of over 7 million in South Africa and Botswana. Some scholars and academics say the Batswana originated in Central and Eastern Africa and migrated south between the 1300s and 1500s. One of the well-known Batswana tribes is the mineral-rich Bakhatla in Muruleng near Pilanesberg in the Northwest Province. This tribe has been plagued by leadership tussles, infighting and disunity over the past few years. Despite these challenges, they continued with their annual Heritage Month celebrations in Muruleng.
Bakhatla are an offshoot from the major Bakhatla, which was once combined with other Bakhatla. We've got about 7 wings now of Bakhatla, who comes from one family. And originally we were in the area of Hammanskraal or Makapan, which is today called Makapanstad, where there were 2 offspring or children of Khosi Matshego.
Pilane also explained how they ended up with 2 Bakhatla tribes, namely Bakhatla Bakhafela and Bakhatla Bakhamosetla.
The younger brother was Khafela and the elder sister was Mosetla. So Khafela and Mosetla decided to part ways because the community, one were in favor of the lady taking over, and at that time people were still believing that it has to be a man for you to.
Hold up, wait a minute.
That story sounds familiar.
Yeah.
It's like I heard it before within time, but I really can't put my finger, but it sounds familiar. Was it Angola?
I think it was Angola.
It was the sister and the brother.
Yeah.
And the sister ended up taking over because, I don't know, it was something to do with
And
war.
it was a fight, yeah.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a similar story.
Why we haven't dug into Botswana history?
Come on, man. Hey, we got some more to
Hold
do
up.
now. We got some more digging to get into.
Okay, we want to know more about that.
Bro, and y'all got to go check the story out so y'all can relate it. For some of y'all may say it's probably not, but the storyline, it definitely kind of sounds the same. They did part ways as well. Oh, it's so good. That's some good stuff. Okay.
To lead. So majority then left with Khafela, but there were those who felt Mosetla as the sister should be the leader. So they parted ways there, and others then were left around Pretoria, in Makau, who are the Motsipes, but they also parted amongst themselves, and there was also Mocha, who also split it amongst themselves, and then Khafela then came and eventually landed up here.
Amid mounting concern that the Batswana culture is slowly disappearing, one of the proud Bakhatlas is adamant that their culture will not die.
We are the Bakhatlas, we are proud of being Bakhatlas, and we will die being Bakhatlas. This Bakhatla thing, this Bakhatla culture is not going to die. There will never be a grave of Bakhatla customs. There will only be graves of Bakhatla speaking in the Bakhatla nation.
So my question is, once the brother and the sister departed, and they started to create their own different tribes. Now there's 2 tribes, because remember he did mention it was all in the same family. Did those 2 tribes become like, did it create beef between the 2? Or were they just understanding with the separation?
Right. Well, they did leave each other. Well, one left,
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Well, I mean, they
For
together
this,
now. They celebrating together, look like. The
People
descendants.
preserving and promoting the Batswana cultural heritage is their priority.
I preserve my culture and indigenous knowledge by writing poems through poetry.
I like that.
To make sure that it's not only about me, but the young ones who are coming behind us can know about this, because somehow we're disconnected from who we are and what we are.
I want us to teach our kids about those food, because some of them, they tease the food, but they must know and understand that they are our food. We must embrace and love them, so that even the next generation can understand, if you eat those kind of foods, it doesn't mean that you are poor.
And a warning to the young.
You don't hear
Mouthful.
this often. Well, at least for us being African Americans, we
Mouthful.
don't hear this often coming from African countries. Because when we think of Africa, we think of, the people who have preserved their cultures throughout time, throughout generations, right? But we often hear this in our culture. Like, there's some food that, we tease, honestly, like chitlins. I'm not eating no chitlins. I'm not eating no tripe. But it's still prevalent in our food ways. That's a part of our African American culture, and that comes from our ancestors. Our ancestors were given the scraps of the food that the other people didn't want to eat, right? And our ancestors have made these delicious meals. It may not be delicious to me, but it's delicious to obviously a lot of our people, right?
Exactly.
But we have to preserve these things to pass it on, and to pass on those the stories behind it.
Right.
So I agree with what she said, but it's interesting that we're hearing this coming from an African country.
Right, and I like that the other lady, she said she preserves it by not being selfish and just living it in her own way in her own home, but she do it through music and poems, and she, sprays it out like that. But my question is, do you think that people have a choice on which things in their culture they can preserve and the things they can't preserve?
Me? Because I'm not eating no chitlins.
But it's still a topic, though. You get what I'm saying? It's still spoken about. Like, some people can say, you know what, I would never turn my face to this again. I would leave this alone completely. It's something I don't agree with.
Well, see,
even if it's bad, not bad. You know what I'm saying? Some people just choose not to, be affiliated with certain things.
I think we have a choice, but we do kind of have like I don't know. It's because we don't eat chitlins. We don't cook it. So the only time our children are exposed to it is if we go to a family member's house. And that's just one example, right?
Exactly.
It could be like our cowboy culture. If we were not exposing our children to that would be something that they would have to learn on their own.
Eventually, because it's still out there.
Right. And they would have a disconnect to it, not realizing that this is your culture.
So I guess saying that it's good for them to be knowledgeable of something.
Yeah.
And I guess in the future give them the choice.
Yeah.
But being knowledgeable like we are, we can speak about it. It's still healthy for people out there who don't know about it.
Right.
That part. Gotcha. Yeah, that sounds good.
The generation to not disregard their heritage and culture.
We need to practice our heritage with the aim of teaching the younger generation, especially those who were born after the year 2000, because they don't want to learn anything about heritage. They say heritage is an old practice. They are very ignorant, even when you try to guide them. But we will not give up.
Indigenous knowledge is still very important to address challenges such as poverty and climate change.
We can show how we can deal with issues of poverty, eradication of poverty, climate change. We can play a very important role, more climate change, because we use indigenous mitigation and adaptation strategies that are coming from the group, from the grassroots. How do we determine or how do we detect that floods are coming? How do we know that it's going to be rain? So we've got indigenous rainmakers, Bomoroka.
Heritage celebrations are expected to continue across the country throughout this month. Tabiso Moss, SABC News, Muruleng.
Bro, this is really interesting. Climate change. How can you tell when it's about to rain? Just without looking at the clouds, how can you tell when, the seasons are about to shift? That's a good thing, because for one, I remember when I was growing up, like, you could see the cows, it would scatter across the field, and you would know that no storms are coming or nothing. But whenever they huddle together, there might be a slight drizzle that's about to happen.
Yeah.
And instantly we'll be able to identify it like that.
Yeah. Even smelling it.
Oh, you can smell it coming. Yeah. It's facts. And another thing is that when it comes to the babies, yes, they could be ignorant to it, but I think, and we talked about this as well, grace.
Yeah.
Grace is when you give a person space to develop and understanding for something without pondering on them and telling them that they're doing wrong by it. They're not trying to learn. Grace is a huge gap that people got to fill, but you got to be patient.
Yeah.
You know?
And you got to show them the goodness of it.
The goodness got
You know, and what could happen if you don't embrace your culture. I think a big reason why generations all over the globe, it's not just African countries, it's not just in America, it's all over the globe that we hear about this. I think a big reason is modernization.
Yeah.
And everybody want to be one way.
Definitely.
No, embrace your culture, your heritage, your people.
Yeah.
Because when we embrace it, that's a respect, paying homage to the people who came before us.
Yeah.
You know?
1,000%. The way I see it is that, you know, when we come up, and this is not going to hit for you at all, but they got some people, I got you, watch, but some people, they're going to agree with this because in school, they would tell a child to read this book, and it would get, I got to read? What? I got to sit here all day, excuse me, and read this book? Without knowing there's so much information you're about to learn that's going to make you look at life so differently. And it's no different from learning your heritage. But for them, like she said, it sounds like an old way. And they hear that and they be like, I got to do what? We out here shooting hoops and we doing this and third guys electronics, but at the same time, you got something that's very impactful as well. And it plays just as much of a crucial role as you doing anything athletic, fun, or just experiencing a vacation, you know? So I think that's a big thing.
I believe so too. There's strength in that. There's strength in tapping. What I'm saying, extra syllables today. Ooh. Tapping into your heritage.
Right.
Like one example, and this is my last example. Like for me, growing up, I knew that like we had, you know, things in our home state that other states probably didn't have, and I feel like I took it for granted. And now as an adult, I am immersing myself into those things, like being on the bayou. Yeah. As a girl growing up, baby, on the bayou, what?
Yeah.
That's for the country folk. You know, be honest, the country folk.
Whoa! Why we do this every time? Yeah, I'm gonna put a whole binder right here, y'all, where we can't see each other every time. I'm gonna just slide it up like a window.
I don't want to be by no alligators. They got snakes in that water.
Hey, as long as you're on the side of me, we gonna have those experiences. Trust me, it's happening. It's happening.
Yes, but like now that I want our children to appreciate what we have. You know, so I'm going to put on my life vest. I'm going to go get me a suit, like a hazmat suit that's going to cover my whole body, and I'm going to get out there on the bayou. I don't want nothing to touch me. At all. I don't even want
I'm just taking it in. I'm just taking the air over that smells good too.
Yeah, the bayou, it depends.
It smells good.
The bayou is very beautiful. Like now that I look at it, it's very beautiful. But growing up as a little girl, I
mean, you experience it even without the water being attached to it because the trees are there.
The Spanish moss.
Even on the land. You know what I'm saying? The trees are always going to be around there. Even the moss, I mean, I think the moss, the fogginess in the morning, the dew of that is there. How the grass is mad wet. And that's all there already. So just imagine that, but with a whole bunch of water around you.
Right.
That's all it is.
It took me coming to North Texas to not experience dew on the grass in the morning to be like, you know what? I want to go home. Just to put my feet on the ground.
We're going to finish this off camera. We're going to talk about this some more off camera. But yeah, it's some good stuff.
Yeah, so that's why I love these videos because they open up conversation. Look, we're so much alike than we are different. Like, I understand we're from all parts of the world. There's people watching us from Norway. There's people watching us from Australia. Yeah. Although this current topic is Botswana, it's not just about Botswana. It's about people. Right. We're learning about people. Right. And we're sharing our stories, and we want y'all to get in the comment section and share y'all stories. Right. You know, so.
And I do believe what we say is it's a nice formula to pick up. Because you can apply it in your life no matter where you at. You know what I'm saying? The grace. Yeah. Learning your heritage. Yeah. Being able to leave and then appreciate something because you never had it in a minute. Right. And be like, oh, you know what? Now I know what I need to do. Type stuff. So all that stuff is a formula I feel like people can implement in their lives, and you could develop so much different skills about yourself.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Appreciate your culture, guys.
Got to.
I know it may seem like, I don't like this. Go away from it for a while. I bet you're going to be thinking about it. Okay? All right, y'all. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.